Kick-Ass Study Stream number 24, I believe. Let me change it up on the screen here. Here's the label. 24. There we go. All right. Alexa, connect to my iPhone.
Searching. Now connected to Joey C's iPhone.
All right. That'll do it. All right. Not sure what music we're going to play today, but it'll be fun no matter what is chosen. All right, so yesterday we went through master studies for from Saya Ohm's work with Lola XOXO. And speaking of, I actually read some. We'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, so while doing that, I noticed a lot of cool tricks and tips and whatnot about drawing lips and the denture sphere, and I've been doing a lot of Star Circuit characters this week, so been drawing a lot of that kind of stuff in detail, and I think it is something we need to go through. I know Valerie, who is on every once in a while, pretty consistent, gave the idea to do the mouth planes, the lips, the planes of the lips, and the denture sphere. So I think we'll start with that. If it seems like it's getting too complex, or maybe not complex enough, we'll move on to something else. But yeah, yo, Germ, what's up? You here? You made it. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna jump into. I'm gonna do it on the iPad today because I've been working on paper all day, but I think it's just easier to see the reference from right here, and I'm able to type easier and find what I need. So yeah, I put a last minute post up about the stream, so I'm hoping people get to it. But yeah, let me just get this iPad up and running. We'll be on our way. And also some music. Let me pump up the jams. Let's get these jams going. All right. Sweet. Looks like we're in. Let's jump into Clip Studio. Well, let me get the chat going too. I'm sorry. Throw in the chat. There we go. Sweet. The chat's up. I don't know why on my end it's frozen over here. Or it's at least a little laggy. I'm not getting a good stream on my end. Hopefully you guys can see. It's like super blurry on my output. It looks like, even though it says it's green, it's good to go. Don't know what's going on. Let me know, Jeremy, if you can see what's going on. Put some music on here. Music, come on. I think I want to do something. Maybe some L1011. How about that? Sweet, sweet band. Two guys looping stuff. Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, I'm going to stop the stream and come right back to it. One sec. Checking if my internet's wired still. Should be. Looks like it is. Alright, that kind of fixed it a little bit. What? Yeah, I'm playing L1011. It's two guys that are awesome at what they do. One plays like a guitar slash bass, and the other one drums, and they just loop together all this awesomeness. But yeah, it's good stuff. This is, I think, the Red album, I believe. All right. Anyway, I found my pencil. Let's check the. Doing good. I'm gonna look at my other studies here and see what I have here. Forget what all the things I've done. That's Jim Lee studies. I forgot I did an atlas there. That looks close. It's a little off. There's some face studies. I could put it there, or I can put it in the planes one. I don't know when I did this. At some point. Looks like I'm drunk or something. A little rough. Alright, let's see what's here. I think it's probably just some warm-ups. Anyway. Let's do the lip stuff. Awesome. Hey, I'm trying to get rid of the what's going on, Valerie? Trying to get rid of this blurriness for you guys. I don't know what the hell is going on. No clue. Huh, I wonder if it's something I can do on my end. Let me check this out. Huh. I got a bitrate of 3000. I could lower it down. Alright, I'm gonna lower that down and restart it. I'll be okay. Hopefully that works. I dropped the bitrate. That should help. Man. Is that like a bald spot? See a bald spot, guys. Alright, so let me bring up the ref that I'll be using in a momento. Not that one. I'm gonna be pulling up a few things here. Just some things I found online that looked pretty useful. Not everything was useful, obviously. And then I'm going to do my comic method of stunning with it, which is using using artists' renditions as something to compare to, like we do with the legs. Dude, I'm not tattooing anything on my monkey or my bald spot with the monkey or nothing. None of your suggestions are going on my head, pretty much. Alright, I don't know why it's blurry still. No clue. It's bad, too. No clue what that means. Alright, so if you guys see this reference here, I'm going to blow it up a little bit. It's already small print, so you're not going to be able to see it at all, especially if it's blurry. This sucks that it's so blurry. I already dropped the bit rate and everything. Oh, it looks so good? Okay, we're going to keep going. Alright, so this is pretty much all the basics of drawing lips all in one spot, and I like how they talk to it, every angle of it. So, alright, check it out. So my favorite parts of it, one, that you're drawing on a sphere or cylinder, technically more like a cylinder, but it kind of curves like a sphere on the face. But here they also have the names of, you know, different things. And a lot of people tell you to start with the tubercle, I think it's that middle bump for the lip. And I usually start with that anyway. Sometimes I start with the middle line, and because it's easy to see it curve, and then start modifying it. But I'm just going to sketch a few of these things. I'm going to put this out of view for you guys, and I'm going to sketch a few of them. Alright? Actually, I can keep it in view over here somewhere. A little bit in view, at least. Actually, I have to blow it up for myself, just so I can see it a little better. Actually, this one's a better one to actually look at. Yeah, semi-sphere. It's almost like semi oval-ish. So here's another cool one that I found. Very good use of wireframes here. I've actually never seen it done like this. So let's see here. On this one, I like how it separates the bottom lip from like the meat to like the graduated trailing up to the face. So kind of tells you a few different things. But yeah, I'm all about it. This is not really the planes, but it helps a lot. So, oh, this sounds good. Oh man. Alright, let's draw some lips. I'm going to draw this center line first and start with that, because I think that's a cool place to start. Alright, I mean, I think before that you probably should start with a cylinder, or at least an ellipse, you know? Because the ellipse will tell you tilt and everything. So, ellipses usually tell you everything that you need to know. It'll tell you perspective, but now you just need to know which one you're working with. So I'm going to darken it a little bit. So let's do something that's you're slightly looking down at and divide it in half. And you can imagine it being a cylinder at this point if you want. Kind of went through this all today by myself a little bit just to get reacquainted with how this all works, but I'm actually going to pick a different center line because I want to show the center line more from the angle, because otherwise it'll be more straight and less pronounced. Yeah, this is L10, like EL like Spanish, L1011. But yeah, that's a good way to put it. I like saying their band name like that. So it's like written out. All right, this is all L1011, yeah. All right, so we're gonna say here and here. And usually the upper lip's a little smaller than the bottom lip, but that's all, you know, how the individual person is. But yeah, it's just gonna go around cylinder like that. But what I like to do before I sometimes do that, I can sometimes visualize the center line better if I just draw what I think it's going to be before I do the actual volume, and then I can really, see it better. And yeah, lips are like this, like top one's pointed down, the bottom one's got a big plane that's pointing up. And then there's 5 different masses in the lips, so we're just going to circle those once I get them in. Circle. So these are the masses. Pretty much like the meaty, pulpy part of the lip. So at the bottom, it's kind of usually heavily shadowed because it pops out of the denture sphere quite a bit, because the chin from here goes underneath and curves back around for the chin spot down there. But yeah. What tip would I give to someone just starting drawing lips, or just starting drawing with the intention of comic books, or just drawing in general? Give me a little bit more of a particular, Diego, and I'll definitely give you an answer. Just let me know, what have you done so far? Just doodling around, or have you taken high school classes or something? I anime slash my mouths in, then imagination project the sculpted memory on the slash in my head. I stretch the 3D from this. Interesting. Sometimes I go with the gesture first, especially if it's like very expressive. But yeah, I like that technique. That's cool. But then again, like, I'm still trying to learn the best way to do it and find my way that works consistently for me. That's kind of the cool part about art. You're gonna find something that works for you. You do you, as they say in the new Spider-Man film. Okay, so we just did it pretty much. Yeah, cut your own path, yeah, man, for show. For show. All right, and this trail off from the center lip, I like that cut they have in this one image, the color image that I had. There's a cut that they have, which this is showing right here. The reason why this contour is there is because of this cutoff. This is like very much like that, and then it slowly trails off tangent-wise off to the side. So I think that's a good illustration. I really like that one. Alright, so we're going to move on from this one because it's told us a couple different things already. I know the big lip is extra big, but for some reason I think maybe my girlfriend's lips are seeping into my face, or my mind, not my face. Her face is seeping into my mind. Alright, I'm going to read some comments. Diego says, a tip for someone who's starting drawing with intention of drawing for comic books. Now, I think Valerie's already responded. Let me see. I still take a fairly technical approach. Quick gesture of a simplified version. Oh no, she's talking about the lips. So, a tip for someone who's drawing or starting with the intention of doing comic books. I'd say, first off, just draw every day, no matter what you're drawing. And I think, Valerie says practice, but that's literally in the beginning, it needs to be the most fun for you. So, because if it's not as fun, you're going to quit because it's hard. It's a hard process, obviously. But it can be a really fun process. So what you need to do is draw what you like. If you're drawing because you love Superman, draw the hell out of Superman. If you like how, say, your favorite artist draws Superman, copy your favorite artist. Um, Say you like, drawing cars, yeah, just draw cars, and draw the coolest cars. Try. What you'll find is that some things are beyond your reach, and you'll realize that it's going to take time to do certain things. What I'd say is, when you're drawing, take your time and focus, like I said, on the fun of it. Only then will you start to build a passion for it. Specifically for comic books, that's why I brought up you drawing from your favorite artist, because you're going to have your favorite stories, right? So as you're drawing and copying from your favorite artist, look and see how he positioned his characters in the scene. If there's a close-up next to an action shot, or if he has a certain set of words next to a certain figure. And those things are good to start to see. You're going to have more fun with learning later if you start off with those kind of fun little studies for your favorite artist. So, like for me, I liked, obviously, Jim Lee is one in almost everybody's childhood favorite, so it's a good thing to do. And yeah, like also Valerie and Jeremy says here, fan art is pretty much a great place to start, because you're already in love with something that's not the hard part, like the drawing part. So no matter what you're drawing, if you're getting something close to what Superman looks like, the resemblance, other people are going to recognize it, and you're going to get some feedback there, and you're going to start to build this little nice loop of drawing something, getting a good reaction from maybe other people and yourself, and have fun with it. That's the first step. If you want to get more serious at that point, I would suggest you grab a sketchbook and you draw everything, and you need to be able to draw in a certain way. And my biggest suggestion is, I'll look it up right now because it's a great book for beginners. Like, I'm actually kind of pissed my mom didn't show me this. My mom's an art teacher, and she didn't show me this book ever. And it probably is the number one book to get people to see like an artist. So, let me find exactly what it's called. I'll even put a link in the description later. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I feel like I've mentioned it before. I just want to get the exact title because it's a long title. Yeah, my mom is cool as hell, except she didn't give me this. I told her afterward, I was like, why have you never shown me this book? I did it years later, and I was like, it's useless to me now, but I can see how it would totally change how I thought of everything. Alright, so the book's called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, and it's by Betty Edwards, and it's pretty much like 3 or 4 chapters, and there's some good meaty writing in there, and it gets into the science of the left and right side of the brain and what you need to do to activate your artist self scientifically. So that's what I would suggest. I'll put the link in my description after it posts, and you'll definitely have a good resource with that. So I go through that book and do the exercises they have, and you'll see the world differently. I know that part is not super comic booky, but if you're serious about wanting to draw better, I think that's a good starting place. Get good scrub, Miss. Oh, man. Oh, that's funny. Alright, so we're going to move on to the next little example of lips here. I'm going to do several from up and down because the lips look a lot different when you're looking at them from above or below. But it's pretty, once you know the forms, like I'll draw it here again. There's 3 forms. Loomis just labels them 1, 2, 3 in his books, because he never goes really into the naming of things. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he's got quizzes, but I don't remember him getting detailed with how these are. And I'm doing this from memory. I'm not looking at anything, but this is just the general masses of the lips. So I'm kind of separating it out with dark lines here. This little middle part is 1. This little half arched shape, and then the symmetrical other arch on the other end. That's 1, 2, and 3, and then underneath there's 2 ball-like masses, and that's another 1 and 2. So that's why I say there's 5 pieces of the lips, and yeah, I'm just going off of what Loomis has taught me over the my time reading him. So, hey, no problem, Diego. Thanks for stopping by, man. If you literally draw and try to attempt what I'm drawing in these videos, it'll help you too, because you're not. I wouldn't recommend copying everything I do, but like doing the exercises I'm doing, like finding good references for if you want to draw, like you said, like something from a comic book. Maybe try to draw somebody that looks like Superman, and try to draw his face well, But yeah, if you go through the exercises I do on the study stream, you're definitely going to get better. It's just if you're starting from the bare, the bottom of the mountain, then you probably want to start with something more fun, like superheroes and fun characters. Okay, so this is where I start with using comic books. This is a cool technique, Diego. You might want to stick around for this if you're still around. I literally just grabbed some Batman from Capullo, some of Capullo's Batman, and I'm just gonna grab some lips that I see that he does, because he's got a very stylized but very convincing way he does lips. It's very simplistic, very sharp, but really gets the point across. Even his women's lips are a little more stylized, but really, given there's not a whole lot of women's lips in this book. However, there's some examples. This is what I do though. Alright, so there's this one shot of, I can't tell from what I'm looking at here, huh? Yeah, there we go. So, there we go. You see that guy? That's Bruce Wayne in this book. But you see his lips there? I'm going to go find a piece of reference that looks like that. And it probably won't look close to that, but I don't need it to. You want to find something that looks similar and then figure out why he angled the sharp edge the way he did. Yeah, I turned it down because I was trying to hear my thoughts when I was talking to Diego. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's my Catapano technique for comic book learning. Anyway, let me see if I have a few, because I do have some references here. That's not bad. Pretty similar. I don't have a live photo, but it looks similar. I think I should find a live photo because what I have is a model, a 3D model. Look at this. I have this. And I could use that because it's pretty similar, but I'm going to look it up. One sec. Oh, this song's tight. This song's called Fanshawe with an E. Alright. The bass line's amazing. I'm just looking up reference, guys. Looking up reference is key. I think there's a lot of, like, the upshot is harder to find when you're looking for reference, I usually find. If it is online, you usually find these awkward poses from people. But yeah, I might have to use that the first one I had from the model. So, because I'm running probably. I've looked at a lot of them already, so I think we're just gonna jump with it, go with it. Oh yeah, praying people photos. Yeah, but I need it to be this open mouth, and almost like a snarl-ish, or just an open, like, even. This is one half of it's snarling, one's not. But yeah, we're just gonna go with it here. So I got them both in front of me like a champion, and I'm just gonna draw with not right now, Jeremy. Alright, let me see here. So this dude's face, I'm drawing from the model, not from the comic book. Note you are noting that it's not a good idea to draw if you're trying to study, like, how actually things are. Don't go directly to the comic book. Okay, so there's our cylinderish thing for the face. I'm using this, like, blurry looking model, so I'm just trying to grab what I can from it. Like, the corner of the mouth should be there, and the corner of the mouth should be there. So from that point, that's a lot of the times I start like that. Like, I know how wide it should be. You know? This lip should come out more like this. Lips are a little thin for how big the mouth is, so I'm just going to give everything a little more thickness. I'm probably going to erase over it and then put in final lines, because that's the best way you can get something that looks more polished. first off, I'm going to put this up a little bit, give it a little bit more of that snarl. I'd argue that it's probably giving all the snarl at that point. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit of the underlip here. Maybe not like that. Similar. Okay, I'm going to erase away and give some final lines. Noticing here, I curved this too much when I did the snarl, so I'm going to take what I have and pull it. Not in 10 lines though. The contrast is so high on this image I'm using that it's not the most useful for study, but it's a good first example. So here, instead of me putting in all the lines, this is pretty much Capullo, who is a comic artist, his technique for getting it in pretty easy. And it's kind of dude, how many times are you gonna tell that joke, man? Alright, so that's one down. Let's keep it going. Let's try to knock out a million mouths. Alright, I think it's easier. It might be easier to like find a mouth in. And I'm going to try to use, I'm going to try just to have closed mouths right now, because they'll be easiest to find. But I'm going to look for reference, photo reference first, and then we're going to look for the counterpart in the comic. So I'm trying to find lips without expressions. In a certain angle, you know. That one works, but I've got one that has like a poor shadow, and would work better if I could get it without the shadow. Ooh, here's one of, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember this guy's name. The dude that played Snape. What's his name? The guy that died. He's got a good expression in this one. I'll do it later. Hard to find somebody that's not smiling and looking at a different direction. I wouldn't think it would be that tough. Here's a decent one. I don't know who this is, but it's decent. It will work. Oh, celebrities do this a lot, I think. Okay. This one's not bad. It's old, an old mouth. This one's good too. Alright, I found a few. Why? Is that because he's Christian or something? Why would you say it? After what movie? I'm missing something. Alright, grabbing the next one. This time a down shot. Why is that so small? Dang. It's so blurry. It's ridiculous. Look how blurry that is. Still gonna draw it. Timmy's been doing celebs, so I think Tom is coming. Oh. Yeah, I think he would. Yeah, man. This guy is like slightly grinning, or he's got a deformation or something. So I'm looking for that angle in a comic book right now, which won't be that hard to find. Just gotta go the right pages, yo. Alright, let's see. I think I found one. It's close. But it's not an up close shot of it, so it's not perfect. It's not a perfect example. However, it's good enough to learn a little bit. So the bottom shot, it's from the bottom, everything on the mouth looks like what, a W? No, an M. No. Up. Forget. It's more W shaped, I think, right? Forget it. I mean, either way, it's the opposite. Like, I remember somebody telling me it this way, like the way you draw. Oh no, that's right. This other guy's book. Hold on. Got to throw a shout out to this dude. He gave me some awesome advice on Instagram. It's Carlos Gomez Cabral. Anyway, he's awesome, and he wrote this book, and it's a bunch of tips and tricks about stuff. But the way he describes doing the mouth is interesting. I forget what exactly. There we go. Okay, so. Let's see here. Yeah, this is how he describes it. I wish I could find it online. I don't think you're able to. But yeah, he describes it as drawing a bird in flight. So if you're having trouble with lips, anybody you're watching, including me, this is how I kind of picture it now after seeing this, which is cool. So bird in flight is like this little bird body, and then birds have this wing with the bone and then all the feathers, right? So you're just making this bird Gotta give him the other wing. And then feathers. If I could draw an even bird, that is. Anyway. And bird in the distance can kind of generally look like this. And that's literally a mouth. It's very close to what a mouth looks like. This is the middle line. And the underneath. Very cool advice. However, that doesn't work for everything, obviously. But another piece of advice is to have the lips like the front one leading, obviously. Or rather, not that leading. But yeah. Something like that. Where this one sticks out more than this one. You know, if that's straight on, you know, on a face. And that's the chin. Either way, that's the idea. And I figured I'd share that little bit of something with the lips. So now back to my little study here. This guy's face, you're looking down on him, so the mouth is going to curve from like here to here, and it's going to curve just about that much. A lot of people tell you to start with that tubular, or whatever they call this one, and when you're looking at it from above, you're not going to see much of it, because remember, from the side, your lips are like this. So you're only going to catch a little bit of this section right here. So that's what I'm going to do. And on this side, he's kind of got a grin a little bit. I'm trying to avoid putting it in, but it's just coming out of the reference. And then in this case, you're going to see a lot of the lower, and it's going to do this trail off thing here. Because you're looking at it from above, right? And then here is your little spot for the, I don't know what you call this section there. It's labeled somewhere on my reference here. Don't know what you call it. But I exaggerated the curve at the end a little too much. But essentially it's pretty solid lip. Okay. Moving on to the next one. This one was so blurry. Jeez. Let's do this one. At least this one's not as blurry. You can actually see it. This one looks like it's tilted, but only slightly upshot. Oh, Tom Cruise, dude. Tom Cruise is okay. I'm not a fan of, who am I not a fan of? Not really a fan of Will Smith. I think Tom Cruise I'm cool with. Though, in some things, Will Smith is actually good. Like that Pursuit of Happiness movie was actually, not gonna lie, it's pretty good. Because he wasn't allowed to be funny. So this one, it's just a slight arc. And it's kind of tilted, so I'm going to put that in there and change the arc a little bit. Okay. All right. This guy's got a very sharp upper lip, which is comic booky anyway. And here, I didn't draw the center line, but I should have, because it's starting to look like it's off center. It should be more over here. Right. Looking at the comic book and seeing how they've decided to do things here. I think I lost my page. Anyway. This one's pretty straightforward anyway. I'm more concerned with the ones that have open mouths and expressions. So this one's pretty straightforward because it's not at a 3/4 either. So in a comic book, you always want to, I mean, this is where the lip connects, and not obviously there's more shadow there, but it also rolls over there as well. So I give that a shade, and when the lips are pressed together, these are pretty apparently kind of sunken in there. And yeah. Lips. Okay, yeah, and this one too, I didn't shade in, but yeah, this all would be a little bit of shade, especially toward the inside. Alright. Let's see here. Next set of lips. Sounds bad. Alright, so here's one with, what's his name? Nobody gave me an answer. At least I don't think so. But, what's his name? Someone tell me. What's this dude's name? Either way. I think I have an example of this in the comic that is similar. Oh man, this one's kind of similar to that. And I know I saw one for sure. It's kind of like one, it's just so small in the comic that it's not gonna work. That's doable, but so is that one. Interesting. Sorry, guys. Takes a while to find what you need. Ahem. No word on what this guy's name is. Alan Rickman. There we go. Mr. Rickman. Alright. This is classic here. Slanted like this. And you can really get the sense of that semi-sphere. In this case, it's curving like this. And he's at like a slight turn in his head, so it's almost center. It's like meow. Alright, so it's a little bit of surprise or doubt or something in his expression, so there's not a whole lot of open mouth movement in here. But yeah, I usually start with this little bump here and then move out. Like so. So I finished another character turnaround today for Star Circuit. Came out super good. And yeah, moving on. There we go. I think his mouth was just not like open that wide. So what we could do is that side looks okay. This side looks like it could be moved in to like here. Alright, so remember there's two bumps on each side of this thing, so you want to have this a little bit of an indentation here. And how much is up to you. In comic books, they simplify it a lot. They probably won't even indicate it too much. And they'll give a little bit of this. The biggest things that matter are the corners where things turn. So, because that shows perspective. Now, another giggity, dude. From this perspective, it seems like his lower lip extends more, but I think it's just because his film grain or something. You can't really tell where things start because of the shadows. It's pretty close. If I was doing it, I'd make this pretty apparent up here. That turns in. can see where some of the shadowing happens down there. Even if there's light on it, which there is, you still get a little bit of like a what they would call a occlusion. Throwing in some wrapping lines is always interesting as well. You can always do that like this and have that point in. Lips. Alright, let's do some fun stuff. Like expressions. I think the most difficult, I think, is the smile. Like, and it's the most, I don't know. I feel like it's the most difficult because it deforms the lips as well and deforms the face a lot. Whereas other ones, I don't know, you still can, doesn't stretch it as much, and the smile's a big stretch. I think more simple is better in that case, but just gonna try to find a smile in here that's decent, and then emulate it. So I'm just going straight ref then. Yeah, dude, I'm against smiles. That's funny. Where's a nice smile at? Who's got a nice smile? Well, we could do a Trump mouth. That'd be fun. There's a good smile. Let's do this guy's smile here. That looks like a true smile too. There we go. Look at this guy's smile. Let's do it. He's got a very curled lip smile, this one here. It's a very, see how he's curling his front lip? Like, yeah, can't keep the lip out for some reason. Alright. Principles still apply, but now you need to know about the teeth. So, same stuff though. Same stuff. So, alright. The mouth is pretty much slightly looking down at it. And I'm telling that from a couple different things, that like the corners of his mouth are still curving. And a few other landmarks on the face I'm seeing. I like this song a lot. Alright. So within the mouth there's the teeth, right? So the teeth are pretty much like, you can imagine them in a cylinder, the jaw and everything. But so let's just say this is the middle. The teeth are going to be in line with that. And they're going to curve back. Back into space. Maybe a little wide. Probably should have turned it here. Alright. Now that I made a mess, getting the point. And these will just be my guides until I put in the final, teeth. So the same thing happens at the bottom. They're shaped a little bit differently, but same principle. And you're not going to see much of them, so I'm not worried about them as much. But they're there, as long as you know they're there. Because the mouth is, the teeth really go farther back, but yeah, they're like that in the mouth, right? So, at this point we can erase lightly, and then draw the mouth over top. Okay. So it looks like, with those as landmarks, we can really find the corners of the mouth now, because they're higher than normal. And realize there's not a whole lot of that bird kind of shape anymore. It's still got this beauty line to it, slightly, but not by much. Yeah, that's a little too far away. There we go. So like that. And we're going to see a lot of the bottom lip, which looks rounded, but we're going to make it flat for comic book style. And you can see where it covers. I'm going to get a little bit of this down here. So it's like kind of catching on a snaggletooth or something. Okay, so this is the outside part. Seems about right. And then the inner is, we're going to make it flat-ish. Bring it around like this. And that should suffice for like the basic shapes of your lips here for a smile. What's the hard part is like all the other stuff that pulls and pushes on the face. So as you can see, with a smile, cheeks get pushed up. And I plan on doing a whole separate day on this because it's a lot of stuff to go through. You know, the nose is here, so the nostrils go up if it's a true smile. You know, they get flared, and so does the eyes up here. They'll be squinty. But yeah, we're just gonna leave to the dimples, maybe just a little bit of here and over here, and the rest we'll leave to the smile itself. Alright, now, so the way to do teeth, since we're here, is to not draw the teeth themselves, but the spaces between them, and only the ones that have significant contrast. Otherwise, you're going to turn up with a whole lot of weird stuff. Like, you can potentially end up with like a really scary looking mouth. Alright. Taking a look at the corners and making sure they're right. Because you could see in his mouth here, they get to this point and then they ditch down for the crevice. Anyway, so let's do the teeth. We're going to pretend the teeth line is up here, even though it shifted a little bit from where I had it. But yeah, teeth line are there. It actually seems like the mouth could be open a little bit more, which we can edit. We're just going to drag this piece down a little bit and then remake the connections. What you only really need to do is something like this. So now, smiles here. So what we're going to draw in is these little crevices here. And so this little inner spot here is almost going to be totally black. And then we're just going to draw pretty much the space between like where the gums are to like imply that there's a smile there. Or teeth. And in this expression, a smile. You don't want to give too many of them, otherwise you're going to end up with a little bit still that scary feel. You just want to imply it from the sides. Or you could do a straight line like this, since it's like a cheesy kind of smile. You can do a straight line across and pull it off in comics. You know? That couldn't work if I can get the line right. It's a good amount of mouths so far. That's nice. So, pretty much taught you to get your teeth in line before you, you know. Teeth, minimalist, light lines only to give the faintest impression for teeth in portrait art. Yeah, definitely agree. It's the way to go. And you can even put in a little more, not really shading, but just a few lines just to show gradation. And for in here, just a few lines as well, just to imply you're coming from dark to light. That's it. You just got yourself a mouth. Smile. Alright. It's a little bit of goofy a smile, but it's decent. Down here you might want to put a little something either, or two, just to imply it's a little below the other teeth. Okay. Let's grab another expression. Like, let's get some surprise, or maybe a kiss, or something. I don't know what the hell that is. Oh man, these sample arts are so good. Now I kind of want it from like 3/4 for sure. Need like a 3/4 shot. And I'm getting a surprise look because it's going to be a more open mouth. Hopefully. Oh man. That's a funny one from Nicolas Cage. Should do that one because that's hilarious. It's a crazy expression. Oh, there's a surprise look from Taylor Swift. We can do that. It's kind of 3/4. It's a little small though. I'm gonna find another one just in case that's too small. Oh, that one's great. Oh man, I think this is straight up James Earl Jones. We got Darth Vader in the house. With a surprise look here, this is funny. Should be a meme. Dude, this is actually a funny Google search. It's pretty hilarious. Alright. Let's check out the ones I got. T Swift. The small picture. Let's enlarge. That's her surprise look. And so her jaw is like very much like open. So the top part of the cranium and jaw is, let's just pretend that is well, I don't want to go into the other thing. So nose, mouth, and then the mouth is like a hinge, right? So if it's open, everything shifts. The jaw goes down like that, like this. It's a horrible illustration, but get the point. It's like a little hinge, 2 blocks of wood, hinge. So with that, we got to keep that in mind because that'll tell you where the teeth are. So here goes. Oh, that's fireworks. I'm hearing fireworks, my friends. And I totally forgot it's about to be our Independence Day for America. Pretty exciting, pretty exciting. So, should be watching some fireworks. Let me open my window, see if I can see any. Oh, straight up hill, yeah. Hold on. These fireworks are awesome, guys. I wish I could have a camera pointed outside. One momento. All right, I'm back. Fireworks look great. I don't know what we're listening to is the question. Switch it up though. Let's put on these guys. back at it. So I'm going to start again with the teeth because it'll tell us many things. So we're kind of looking down at it. Your head's tilted down a little bit. So if you just draw the circle, you can kind of get the width right. And that'll tell you kind of how far apart her mouth is. Alright, so from here, we're going to look and see her teeth are rounding this way, like so. We're not seeing much of it, but yeah, they're rounding that way, and then from the back end, they are like this, like a Jawbreaker, or that game, The Jawbreaker. I'm just drawing like a tube looking thing for the teeth. Just the general width of them. Seems like it's at a different angle, but let's see here. Let's do this. With that as a guide, I can better judge this. Something like this. And we're gonna do a light erasing again. And we already kind of have our spot where the mouth is creased at the corners. So we're gonna kind of look and see what is going on. So up here above the teeth is the, whatever that thing was called, tubia something, tubacular, tuba something. And then that meaty thing is like stretched. So you go down. Anybody else setting off fireworks tonight? It's awesome if you have fireworks. I bet Ken's selling them right now, dude. He's going overtime. Probably they should be over here now that I'm looking at it. Sorry, my friends. Okay. Same with the other side. It's a little bit too far apart. I'm getting this like stretch over the teeth is essential because that's what's kind of happening. You're getting a pull from the teeth that are in the way. You almost want to try to do it with your mouth to test it out. Like, ah. And with this, you can kind of see the bottom gum or the bottom lip is like where it sets in. But I'm just going to go with the outside line for right now. Actually, let's go with the inside line. It's almost my teeth line right here. So I'll have to bring in the teeth a little bit, but The shape there is pretty good for a judge. Seems like the angle is what I'm missing here, the perspective. There's so many fireworks going off right now, it's very hard to think. Let's try this outside line now. We're just roughing it in. Like, this is where those meaty parts are, so everything is kind of remaining intact, I think. Kind of follow her lipstick line, but it's not exactly true, but it's true enough, you know? That's the whole point of lipstick, is to show that line a little more clearly. So you might as well use it. And a lot of times people, like back in the day, the early artists, like Loomis will color these in because they're such a deep red. To get that kind of saturation, it needs to be kind of dark. Not crazy dark, but a lot of people shade it in. Alright. So, the upper teeth are pretty easy because they're stationary. They're going to be up there. These bottom ones, we have a little bit of a glimpse of some, and then the other are here, and they kind of disappear behind the lips. Now, once we laid in all that, we can figure out what we screwed up, what we need to fix. And all the rest. So, I think the best route is to erase lightly and do another layer. I think this should be a little higher, this other mark here. So that seems more right. And trying to find the contours, there's a little bump here. There's a crazy amount of fireworks going off right now. It's getting ridiculous. It's so loud. It's awesome. Guess now's the time to set up fireworks. to do here is give a little bit of a contour to the teeth. Just to show there are a little bit more teeth. Maybe too much teeth. That works. This tongue is key for perspective. Kind of cues me in on how far this one's off. Slowly giving everything a little bit more verticality, which I made it, I guess, too wide. So I'm trying to keep with the teeth, which would be, if we look at it, they're in here. And yeah. So in comic books, we probably would shade a lot of this because for some reason the flash on the camera is coming straight at her, you know. So in this case, unless in the comics she was taking photos of something, or if she's being surprised by like a cop or something, you know, you would probably want to do what I'm doing here, which is give the mouth depth. And anything you can do to that to help, you know, the better. And so here with something like this, you might want to even put those lines here. That. Oh, you're right. They are a little bit off. True that, my friend. They should curve in up in there. Good call. I think it's because my mouth was just too wide. So it kind of made me force that thing that way. Way to be descriptive though, dude. I like it. Just gonna redraw it. See what I have to do here. Fix that. Maybe too much of a turn in there. Yep, that's better for sure. And having some taper on all these lines will help too. And the more you want it to have feminine beauty, the more you put those beauty lines in, which are slight curves, and it'll get more beauty out of it. The only part I don't like is this curve here. Alright. Not bad. Inside, I'm not a fan of this part here. But it's doable, you know what I mean? That'd be sellable in a comic, for sure. So, what we got left? 20. We got about 20 minutes left, so I'm going to do another expression. Anybody want to give a suggestion? I'll take suggestions. I got to look up something. Got to check it out. Rage, maybe? Rage Against the Machine? Anybody? This one's not bad. I like this one. It's pretty iconic for Rage. Let's do it. I just don't like it because it's straight on. I'd rather have something more dimensional. What the hell? Let's do some atrocitus. Atrocitus is no. Why am I saying atrocitus? Atrocitus. Jesus. That's going down in the books. So atrocitus is from Green Lantern, and he's got a crazy kind of like. He's part of the Red Lanterns, which is all about rage. So it's a good spot to look for one of these mouths. But point is, we'll be drawn from cartoon. I don't necessarily want to do that. I want to find a guy that's enraged first. Or a girl. I've seen a few that look good, so we're just gonna pick one here. I think this is 3D animation, the one I found here. I kind of want it a little bit more teethy. Oh, this is so good. This dude is like super pissed. Let's go with it. I think he's a tennis player or no? Soccer player? I don't know. Check out that dude. Alright. So generally, if you were doing some caricature stuff, here's where you might exaggerate the hell out of maybe even the teeth. Like stretch the mouth and the teeth to like really show a lot of that rage. Alright, so I'm gonna stop talking and actually draw. That way we can get something out quickly. Here's a great example of oh, thanks, man. Good to see you in the stream, man. Um, you know, gotta put in the hours, though, for sure. It's the only thing that separates you from greatness. Plus, it'd be cool to have all these documents when, all these documented videos when I actually do something praiseworthy. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, so I pretty much, I figured I'd be doing all this stuff anyway, outside of streaming. So I was like, might as well put it on camera. Not for the recognition, obviously, but just to like pull a Raposa and like really by this time of the day, I'm pretty worn out from everything. So like, kind of keeps me honest about the steady regiment, you know. So. What do I plan to do with my art? Well, a lot of things are already in motion. I've got my #1 project, which is a comic book I'm writing and drawing called Star Circuit. The website's on the page for the stream, and I've got a Patreon for that. But I really want to just whatchamacallit. I really just want to I'd like to draw for maybe one of the big two, because I've got a lot of that, especially DC, and I've got some good critiques from them, so it's leading me to believe I'm pretty close to getting work. Maybe not from them right away, but pretty close from someone reputable. You know what I mean? So right now that's the kind of the couple goals, like to do my comic and get a comic work from them. That's where it's at. But yeah, I also agree. Posa is the man. Inspires us all. But yeah, I'm gonna, it's all about knowing what you want. And if you put in the time, it's gonna happen. So that's like I don't see a reason why any of this will happen. I just quit my day job to do this full time, um, and I don't really have many clients, so it's studying all the time. You know, it's studying, it's doing my projects, it's doing all the stuff I need to do. And whenever clients do come in, I do them. But you know, just gonna live the dream. Oh yeah, sweet dude. You working on a comic or just like illustration comic concept art? Is that your thing? Okay, so that looks like the basics of this mouth. Still looks like a little wide. Alright, I think it's time to erase and get the final lines in. This time I'm going to use a mechanical pencil in Clip Studio because it's nice and harsh lines, you know? Been working on a manga for quite a while, spent several years writing it while studying. Skills are getting there, but you know, it's always an uphill struggle. That is the truth, my friend, for sure. So you calling it manga, so it's like anime style? You're calling it manga because of it resembles the style of manga, or does the story resemble a like manga typical story, or you're just maybe trying to get a manga publisher? What do you mean when you're specifically saying manga? But yeah, that's awesome, dude. Super awesome. I like anytime I hear that, I'm pretty motivated to keep going. And let me know if you got a Patreon page or whatever. I'll check it out. Seems like these lips are a little low. But yeah, awesome for you to stop by, man. It's super awesome. I do it every day at 8 to 10 because it's. I was gonna do it in the morning. It has to be like in the morning or at night. One, because it's the only time people are available because most people have day jobs. But I'm also doing it at that time because either in the morning or at night you end up having like a little bit of a struggle, like getting to it. You know what I mean? It's like the time when you might have a little bit of struggle getting up if it's the morning, or a little bit of struggle, um, you know, getting to work, you know, because it's late. Oh, that's supposed to be the teeth? What am I doing? Teeth. No, that seems about right for the lips. Means the teeth would be down here a little bit more. And I'm gonna simplify the hell out of this because that's how I like my expression simple. But exaggerated. So I'm going to turn up this lip a little bit. Yeah, this one is well, this is why I do the study anyway, because it's tough to get everything going, man. And work on it. It's like when you're working on stuff that's for you, it doesn't necessarily mean you're working on stuff that you're poor at. So this is why the stream's useful, because you end up getting all the stuffs that you're poor at. And it doesn't have to be on stream, obviously, but here he's got like this ridge of teeth, and then the pointy one here, which I'm going to exaggerate a little bit. Man, Clip Studio's being a little weird right now. Or maybe it's my hand. I've been drawing on paper all day, so whenever I do that, it feels weird. Concepting phase, nice. I consider myself in the early development too. So what kind of book is it? Is it like it's a Western style? I'm assuming it's either survival horror or superhero or maybe controversial action. That's kind of a big thing now too. But I don't want to pigeonhole you into something that you're not. Obviously, I was just making jokes. I'm sure it's pretty original. Yeah, but while I'm waiting for your response, I'm doing this pretty much the same thing. I'm getting very close to. I'm planning to start work on actual pages for my comic in August, so I got this last month to do it. All the rest of the concepting and the busy work of model sheets and stuff. But I eventually do need to get to it because I plan on releasing weekly or somewhat weekly like updates online for the pages, and yeah, it'd be cool to get it up on time actually. Let's see down here. I do like how this turns in. Hand's getting lazy. That's how I know it's a crazy night. Been drawing all day. So, it's one of those only drawing days, which is my favorite days, but yeah. So in here, we're just gonna shade in you know, some of the definite blacks. And for the most part, it'd be all black in here, but we're just gonna do this. I probably should shade it up, not horizontal. And doing that will give it more anger, I feel like. For sure. Alright. Cool. What I don't like about the lips is there's no planes to them, which that's what I'm trying to get at here. And the way to try to start telling that apart is to like throw in these horizontals and shading, of course. Not fond of it because it's not got the stretch here. So let me pull some more of that. Oh, see, I'd say action fantasy epic, I suppose. Old school RPG elements, some superpowers mixed in there. Okay, interesting. What kind of theme are you working with it? And as far as Loomis goes, I'm definitely been in and out of Loomis books a lot. I've done figure drawing, the head and hands, creative illustration or creative drawing, and I think that's it. Might have done one more. The beginner book probably back in the day, but they're like almost like Bibles. So like you got to go back and refresh and the rest. So I'm pretty much gonna fix everything I'd hate about this image here, which is a lot of it, but let's see what we can get here. I think it'll really help the stretch if I do actually put in the lines here for this part. Are you a fan of Loomis too? Yeah, there's I guess I just answered it. But yeah, it's I think it's one of my favorites, man. He's so good. Like his writing, I think is just as good as the art examples. Like people don't usually like to read that stuff, but it's like it's actually entertaining, man. And it's like written in such an old school way that you're like, man, wish I could meet this guy. Like he's cool sounding, and I'm sure he's, you know, a cool guy to hang with. Okay, so I'm gonna add in these little gum spiky marks here because those always help the anger. Anything vertical is gonna help. And you probably have to give some sharp teeth too, just to like really help. So we'll do that as well. Gave the gap in his teeth too much. ain't bad. I mean, it could be way, way better, but it's pretty much the end of the stream. Oh, wow. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I love the descriptions more than anything. And, I don't know. It's something that the way he describes everything is perfect. So it's a must go to for everybody, you know, that's working at it. Um, this is probably first day one on probably mouth and musculature of the face, facial expressions. I like what we got through. I mean, could have got through more, but it's been I think it's some of them are a drag, as in like a struggle. So, but that's it, everybody. I go to 10 o'clock every weekday. I call it the Kick-Ass Study Stream. And let's see where we're at. We're on number 24. So, awesome, everybody. Come back and, you know, have fun chatting. We can chat about everything. So, good night and good luck. Thanks for showing up, Travis. You're awesome. You know, message me anything you need, man. Let me know if you need your, you know, promotion or a share or something for your comic. Let me know and I'll help you out. And have a good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll do, what's tomorrow? Wednesday? We're going to do figure drawing stuff. So like legs, maybe again, or hips, or some piece of that. I'll think about it. Have a good one, everybody. And, oh no, tomorrow's 4th of July. Holy. Are we going to do a stream? Alright, if I'm not intoxicated, I'll be doing a stream. So, stay posted. I'll let you know. Peace.